So you're probably watching this video right now because you want to learn how to go viral and convert these viewers to buyers as well. And you probably most likely have a brand or you're a creator right now. So in this video, I'm not even going to go in depth in the intro, but for reference, I've made 12.5 billion organic views. I've made over $1 billion in revenue for my clients. I've also saved $400 million in actual ad spend for my clients as well. And my biggest clients are Amazon, Audi, Fashion Nova, the School of Hard Knocks, even WAP using my software. So without further ado, without even getting you into an intro, I'm just going to go straight into it and show you exactly how the software works, how I'll be able to do this for you, and also why it works so well. So just to get first into the introduction, this month already, we've done 252 million views in a single month in October, and we did 7 to 22K per day on average day for our clients as well, and a 65% increase compared to September, and a 20 million views on the high end and 3 million views on the low end. So we actually added 4K added to average day and in October, so as you guys can see. And then essentially the visual intelligence system is not engineered for brands and teams, but it's also dominant for the attention and perception and the narrative in the industry without having to spend any ad spend. And our mission to me is just to weaponize brands with a powerful enough system to actually control mass audiences, reaches, and viewers to buyers in favor for my clients. So our top clients, like I said, is the School of Hard Knocks, Amazon, Audi, Rolling Loud, Netflix, Fashion Nova. And I work with one-on-one to each of these clients, and I've helped them both. And our work overview, we've done over 22 billion views in 3 years, 2.86 billion in 90 days, and 44 million in 7 days. And in the last 90 days, we've done 5 billion organic views for all of our clients. So that is just a little bit of what we do. And the work breakdown is with Oscar Patel. We've helped from 228K followers to 381,000, doing 32.83 million views in the last 30 days. And that's just proof right here. With this also Oscar Patel on his YouTube from 155K to 225K, which is now at 240K as of making this video, and his TikTok at 272K. And also getting over 122,000 followers in literally 90 days for him as well. So just to show some proof and know what I'm talking about, that is what it is. But essentially, I've done it for multiple clients, such as like all of these clients here, even Oscar Patel, and he's doing over quite a lot of revenue. And I won't specifically show you that, but with ecom clients, I've done over 72 million in 1 year, 5 million in 30 days, 200K one day, 6.6 in 30 days, and these are just the clients that I have right here. So just to show you a reference, this is what it can do for you. These are my clients. So this is actually what the system looks like here, right? So you have your payload, you have your YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and any choices of platforms that you want to make sure that you can track what works, what doesn't, and momentum. And then you got the visual intelligence system where you're going to put your brand identity in, you're going to put your custom behavior in, so your ICP, and your algorithm mechanisms for your hooks with the behavioral response logs of just basically tracking what your audience actually likes about your videos in more depth, and a weekly team call synchronization here. So the magic happens in the Golden Wheel OS with my own methodology where basically, for example, you're driving your dream car down the road and let's say your tire popped, right, and it's a Ferrari. So you pull over on the side of the road, somebody's following you behind, and he offered you a wooden wheel for free, right? And before you could say yes or no, someone else came and say, here's a golden wheel for you, this is going to take you further, it's performance, and it looks way better. So it's basically a no-brainer. You're going to pick the golden wheel 9 times out of 10, like 100% of the time. So that's the exact same way it works on social media. You're going to basically look at a wooden wheel, something that's performed well, it works, right? But then all you're going to do is make it better in your own way. So that's exactly what we're doing with social media posts. We find something that works and we just make it better by using very specific metrics and also very specific mechanisms to actually make this better. But top of that, we have our perception warfare. So we're actually not just engineering these videos for virality and everything, but we're actually doing it to give you a positive brand perception. Then you got your surveillance reporting. So we track literally all your metrics so you can understand each metric that actually comes out, you can actually see the text from it. So we're basically transferring numbers to text. So this way, you're not just looking at a screen of just basically numbers and you're not really understanding anything. You're actually looking at screens of numbers that have been transferred from text, so you can actually understand what watch time is, what retention is, what the real-time combat adjustments actually are, and then also understanding your whole behavioral ICP even longer, so that any audience key feedbacks that I have, then you're able to understand that. And this is the power of the visual intelligence system I've made. So essentially the engineering of this works very, very simple. So the 3 cores that it has is your payload, as that we just explained. Then it has your visual intelligence system, which basically is your whole magic. And then you have your visual intelligence system 3.0, which is where even more of the magic happens, where the videos get created, where the visual perception gets perception, and then you also have your surveillance reporting on top of that. So that's just what we went over. Now, the engineering of the software is very delicate, right? So basically all we're doing is we're actually finding the algorithm. We're not finding the opponent. And let's say this is UFC ring. This is you right here, and this is your opponent, and this is the whole UFC ring. You have all the space, and the green is all the space that you can start moving around, start making your moves, right? So if you have all the space, why are you only competing with your competitors, right? Why are you only just targeting them? Why are you trying to fight them when you have all the space in the algorithm to actually dominate in? And that's exactly what we're doing here, and that's why the coding on the software is actually developed this way, because once you actually develop a coding and enough engineering enough to fight the algorithm, you win the algorithm. So when you win the algorithm, you control the whole audience, and nobody can take that away from you, because the competitors are going to try to fight you, and they're going to fail as good as they can, right? So that's the goal. We're not going to go viral. We're doing infiltrating the algorithm, we're patterning the attention, we're engineering the trust and reprogramming the whole audience perception. And then in depth of this, we're going to target anybody who can actually understand and watch this, and we're going to make sure that it has max perception algorithm for the weaponization of it and being the brand for the algorithm, and we're going to be fighting the algorithm and not the opponents. And just for the actual typical view ratio, this is like literally what we've done, and which makes creators and brands results like these. So they literally don't have to push out more ads and waste more money, etc., right? And this is literally what it would look like. For example, we're going to find a video that's worked previously, make 2 or 3, 4, 5 examples, however much we need, and we're going to make this better in our own way. And this is for a thumbnail example, but it works the same way in short form, long form, and any other way, even in life in general. And this is the reason why you can build a concept from a viral format just with a twist, using your own developing of your own tailored software plus your brand and ICP, because we already understood your brand identity and ICP in the first 3 seconds of actually having the software, because you're going to input your brand identity and customer behavior actions into this, so that way when you make the better version of it, it's actually going to be tailored towards it. Then the fourth engineering is actually the trust. So we're going to use a perception framework, storytelling framework, and a proof of positioning. So a beginning world, such as a normal world and customer's current pain, with a rising tension and problem interface, which actually is the middle, and the end is the resolution. So your brand is a better guided life to them, which looks like this. So this is a roller coaster of the emotions that the viewer actually goes on in the video. And let's say it's a 60-second video. They're going to have emotional hook and insight in the first few seconds. The storytelling framework is going to build up to the brand identity, counterintelligence. Then it's going to go down a little bit, and then the dopamine is going to spike for the proof and positioning. So this way, if you're trying to sell anything, if you're trying to get followers, if even you're trying to get buyers, this is literally what's going to happen, and this is the best way you can convert the videos. And this is how you actually get the visual attention editing, hijack mechanism, perception framework, behavior acquisitions, all to work at one time. And this means the audience will literally have multiple feeling moments, which makes them have a dopamine hit every little few seconds. So it will basically get results like this for you in this way. So I will literally show you, like, you got 2 million, 18 million, 2 million, and it's a new record video for each time, right? So the strategy and execution of this is very simple, right? It literally takes 1 or 2 days to fully get it set up and integrated, and it takes literally 5 or 6 days to get it researched and make sure that it goes through each competitor, each viral video that it finds in your industry, in your niche. So it goes through over thousands of competitors, millions of videos to find the exact videos that we can take as a wooden wheel and make as a golden wheel. And then the investment is super simple, right? So essentially, this is even more results that we've done, like even in the last 90 days, 1.86 billion, you know, in the last 7, 119 million, you know, and even in the last 90 days, 357 million, last 7, 44, you know, last 28, 252, you know, last 7 days, 78 million, last 28, 158. I could go on forever, guys, right? There are so many results that this software brings, because the system is so developed in a way where you don't need to do anything but just sit down and record a video just like what I'm doing now and just see results. That's all you need to do. Sit down, record the video, and you see results. So I've made it this way because I want to change the game, not just because I want to have some shiny agency or shiny software that sells something great, but I want to make content great. In the last few years, you can see that the development of software has gone through a lot of stages, and also content has as well. And I've realized that more people want more better content, but they don't want to make it feel like it's actually getting a revolution in terms of way where Mr. Beast is going so high production level, right? We want more of the content that we like, and that is the very much power for how the software would work. And essentially, even if you don't have any data, if you're a new brand, or even if you're literally a different brand in a different industry, it doesn't matter who you are at this moment. If you're a brand, if you're a creator, if you're an influencer, you literally would be able to use the software regardless, even if you have a massive team already, because everything in this software is designed for a team and a brand at the same time. It's not just for creating videos, it's not just for tracking metrics, it's literally not just to create you a better brand perception and convert views to followers or buyers. It's literally made for you to have longevity, right? Even if your brand, for example, in the next 1 year started slowing down, it will then give you an exact solution and strategy towards exactly knowing how you'll be able to make sure your brand doesn't die out. And that's the very few power of it, because there's so many creators, so many brands that would have amazing results, right? In 1 year, they have such an amazing, transformation and progression, but then in the next 2 months, they just dip down. Like everything they just work for 1 year just goes down into 2 months and gets crushed, right? And this software actually analyzes this before it happens, so then you can literally just target it and counter intelligence it like this, and it's done, right? And this is the best thing about it, because so many of my clients, 150 plus of my clients use this, and they always had the same problem saying, hey, we got so many results, but now the software is going to actually do this, because now they got like 100 million views in the last 30 days and they got so many followers, but now the next month, what if we don't get that much? Well, that's not an issue, because it's going to create momentum based off that, right? Because it's actually so much more deeper than this. As you can see, I'm literally working with WOP right now, and I can show you proof as a video right here that's actually in WOP's channel. So I don't want to go too much and show you so much detail, but I want to show you that this is actually real results. How it works with the surveillance is so incredible, right? Because you're not just able to track how many views, how many likes, how many comments, how many watch time, blah, blah, blah. You're able to exactly see the behavior response logs of the videos. So for example, I'm going to go on this first video, which was actually a Togi video right here. For example, this video did in 28-day ratio, 168,000 views, watch time 233.k, subscribers 1.5k, likes 10k, right? And we tracked all the data from actually the screenshots, and we also track all the data from the max views, max impression likes, max average percentage, total watch time, max watch time, so that all these metrics would make sense to when we actually go into improved analytic insights, because this video got an improved analytic insight, which means that it needs to be improved, right? So I'm going to give you two outputs, improve or double down, which means improve or stable. So if I go to an improved analytic insight right here, it's literally track the watch time, average watch time, retention, average percentage viewed, retention mark, views, subscribers. So you can literally see the data current summary of what that time ratio would look like for that specific current main problem right here, with the actual metric, with the target improvement, with the action editing, the action hook intro, the actions, call to action subscribers, action package, title, thumbnail. So it actually gives you the titles and thumbnails analysis with a repeatable framework note on each metric right here. And this is not data that you can get anywhere else, because one, you can't track this actually individually without having any software tools, just like the visual intelligence system does, because it requires a KPI address, requires an ID channel, and requires a lot of data, over 20 to 30 terabytes of data, to actually track all these very highly accurately, because it's not using ChatGPT, it's not using any outdated output methods, it's using YouTube's data that we actually grab from YouTube, and also the main channel's data, so that everything is accurate towards the whole platform and the channel. So that is going to give us the highly accurate data, so what we can improve on, with also the visual intelligence system engineering, which is going to give you the payload block for the hook reel, what happened in the middle of the video for each point that is a highlight key point in the video, with the end screen and call to action CTA. So it's going to give you a description of what happened within this little time frame of the video at the moment, with the algorithm infiltration, or how you can infiltrate the algorithm even more, with the weaponizing attention, with the engineering of trust, reprogramming the perception of it, and the retention editing, hijack mechanism, perception framework, behavior acquisition, KPIs tracked, and next irritating changes, because everything inside of this data mechanism right here is for the ecosystem of the long form content to make better and double down on, with the engineering by the visual intelligence system that I've coded on myself. So it exactly knows what an algorithm is, what the perception is, exactly knows how to weaponize this, and also how your behavior acquisitions work with the KPIs tracked, because everything is 100% accurately dated to this. Otherwise, WOP wouldn't be using this. So that is what we do, and it does it for every single client, and it also does it for every single video they're going to be doing right here as well. So you can see their surveillance for these videos, improves stable platform as a YouTube type, right? So we're doing all these videos because they have the mechanisms that we were actually tracking. Now, it's not only just doing that, but it's also doing the behavior response logs for actually making these videos worthwhile, and how we can actually see how the comments look like. So the hook and key message of this video was from a Brez video, right? And it did 20k likes in the camping challenge. The negative response was 34%, and the positive response was 24%, and the neutral response was 73%, with the final response being positive and high energy. So this means the audience comments feedback, they love the video quality, they love the music, they also love the behind the scenes and storytelling of it, and the repetitions of this, which an objection and negative signal was suspicion of being staged/scammy. So they would understand the objection and negative signal of this with insights learned from the actual algorithm, and also next action points from the engineering of the system. So this is just a summary of it, but when I go down, you will be able to see the exact surveillance of how the behavior acquisitions of your ICP and the viewers and the audience, they actually love the video. So it's going to go from each emotional input that happened in the video. So it's going to identify this by the data that we collected from the whole video, meaning all the advanced analytics. So all these analytics that you see right here, the engaged views, average perception, just the views, even watch time hours, nobody's going to go into the advanced mode right here and look at all these one by one individually and understand each one. It's going to take you hours of time, and this is why we save so much time, because it's going to put all this data into actual word assets right here. So it's going to analyze all the emotions, what happened in the video, with emotion response of what that was, the hook key message, with the audience comments feedback to what they would like in that video, any objections, negative signals, with insights learned, and next actions with example comments. So this way you can literally understand your ICP without having to go into your advanced mode or anything, or looking through thousands of comments, right? It's going to give you this data output directly and highly accurately without any fail. And this is the perfect point to actually making an ecosystem of content that works individually for each video that you put out. Not even videos that you put out on long form, but also short form. So that way your whole brand is analyzed through this data, and you get the data back through the software instantly. Doesn't take a week, it literally takes 12 to 24 hours. As you know, we're actually doing like 25 terabytes of data for every single client that we have right now. So that is like just a very few moments of it, and this is how we work, and this is WOP right here. So essentially, this is literally the best software in the game right now. I haven't seen anybody else use this and actually fail with the brand. There's literally no reason why you will be able to sit down and just record videos, analyze your data without having any stress, without wasting time, without having to rely on such human input. Because imagine, for example, you had a massive team like Mr. Beast. You know how many A/B thumbnails tests he does as a fucking creator? Imagine somebody was actually in the office, right, and there's 4 people doing a thumbnail, and he asks, and he comes in, he goes like, hey, what about this thumbnail? Should we do this as an A/B test? What do you think of it? And 3 people give a good answer, but 1 or 2 people say, nah, I don't like it. That's human error, and that's human input. But if it was actually tracked by data and proved by data, there would be no whatsoever conclusions or fusions with actually making the thumbnails work it, right? So that is the power of the software, because it uses highly accurate data with the coding and engineering of the software that I've developed, so that everything is accurate towards the brand and tailored towards the brand. And this is exactly why WOP uses it. This is exactly why Amazon uses it, Audi, Fashion Nova, even the School of Hard Knocks use this. So this is exactly why they want to use it, because it gives them the exact data, gives them the exact output omits, and it doesn't have any whatsoever time wasting stuff. It gets straight to the point and does it for you, and I can't tell you enough, guys. So this is how the visual intelligence system works. This is how I'm able to generate 12.5 billion organic views. This is even how I've done $1 billion in revenue for my clients. And last month, in 30 days for Amazon, they did 172 million, and we track all their videos. We actually managed 300 influence for them. So that is the power of the software. And if you are not using this right now, then I'm sorry, man, you're just going to be left behind. And if you don't want to have this, that's totally fine. I'm not putting any force and pressure onto you at all, but I'm just showing you what is capable and what is the potential that you would have if you actually had the software. And I just want to explain it because I'm very passionate about content. This is all I want to do. I've been doing it for 6 years. I've worked with some of the biggest creators in the game, and soon to be working with the biggest creators in the game very, very soon. So this is only for a limited time, and I'm only going to have the software around for accessible people until it's going to be exclusive. So the next part of the software is actually going to be a physical key that you plug into your laptop. And this way, that you get shipped this key token and you're going to plug it into your laptop. It's going to download the whole software for you. It's going to put everything onto this computer individually, and if you need multiple softwares on different computers, it can be done. But as soon as you plug this out and you try plugging in a different laptop, it will not work. It will not let download the software, because we only want this exclusive to the clients and people that we see that you have a future of their brand into it. So when it's on your software, on the laptop, that is it. You can't plug it and put it into someone else's. It won't do it, because it's only allowed to do it one time and one time only. And this is the power of the software, and this is the future of it. So that is the visual intelligence system. This is how it works. This is the $1 billion system that I've generated over the last 6 years, and because this is only the beginning, and I'm going to change the world.